It's been a long time coming. It's been a minute since I've done this. Yeah, man. Life happened, but we're not there. UFC321. That literally sounded like a countdown. But come on, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only fire about this card for me is the main event. Two young ones going at it, and them going at it. They most probably gonna fight again. And what we're gonna touch on, since it's been a minute, I've came up with this that I'm gonna break what we're gonna be breaking down, right? So it's gonna be the first. We have to build it up, right? The saga of the heavyweight division from 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We're just gonna, for a little bit, break that down and talk about the actual fight. So yeah, the whole thing episodes is back. So yeah, man. So let's break down the saga of the UFC heavyweight division, right? We saw how everything transpired. Dana White, Francis Ngannou, Stipe Miocic getting older, retiring, and all that, right? We've seen it and we saw how it played out. We've talked about, let me say, people have talked about it, gave their opinions and all that shit, and we saw how certain fights played out between these two guys that are gonna fight October 21st. October 25th. We've seen how these two guys have fought over the years, and one has been so resilient, and he's now the UFC heavyweight champion. He didn't actually beat the actual champion, the real champion, which how everything transpired, we know who's the real heavyweight champion of the world. And I'm not talking about the UFC, right? Yeah, I'm not talking about the UFC. We got Cyril Gane coming into MMA, going on a win streak, beating every fucking body, and then boom, he meets a guy that he used to train with, and then what? And then what happens? He barely wins the fight. He almost wins that fight, but obviously the inexperience got to him. And then a few years later, now he's hittable. Now I'm kind of like breaking, the journey of these two fighters. Now he's hittable. Tai Tuivasa catches him clean and drops him. Recently, Volkov catches him clean, but he stood up. Shows that he's got a chin for this MMA shit. And you got Tom Aspinall, who just came into the UFC and stomped on each and every fucking heavyweight that he came across. He's literally steamrolled every fucking heavyweight that he's came across. He has been one of the most exciting young guns in the heavyweight division. And then you've got the veterans, and then you've got the veterans that we're gonna make this whole heavyweight division interesting. Stipe Miocic was getting older. Francis wanted a 3-fight contract. Didn't get the 3-fight contract. Jon Jones recently retired, and guess what? It's all of this. We gotta blame it on somebody, and we all know who's to blame. But we are not talking about that. What are we talking about now? We're talking about UFC. We were talking about UFC 321. And what is going on? They are going to Abu Dhabi, UAE. And guess what? This is a fire main event. It's gonna go down. Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall. This is going to be one of the most technical fights in the heavyweight division, I think, period. These guys are gonna drop each other quite a few times, and a fight's been technical. doesn't mean that they won't get reckless. And then let me say on both ends, and looking overall at the fights, Cyril Gane is very much capable of submitting Tom Aspinall, because we've seen Tom really makes mistakes, but the fight time is just a disadvantage. Cyril Gane has went a distance with a couple of guys since going in the UFC, and I think we saw that he kind of learned something, but he also kind of didn't learn nothing. The first minute of the fight against Volkov, he gets taken down, and he gets put in that position for quite a few seconds or a minute, and what happens and what happens after that, the man shows improvement. So it's like a 50-50. You can see the growth mindset and his fight style. Even though he doubted the Volkov fight that he won. When you look at that fight, he won the first round because he had Volkov he almost submitted him. That's why he won the fight. And when you look at the rules of the UFC and how the commission like have structured the rules, that first round was his and that third round was his too. That's how Cyril Gane won that fight. You can also see that when he did the post, and you can see when he did that post interview, he was kind of doubting himself when they were announcing the decision. He was kind of doubting himself that he won that fight. As I said, my people, the reason why I'm talking, the reason why I'm trying to break this down like this, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, so I've recently watched these two guys lost fights, right? You got Tom Aspinall fighting Sergey Pavlovich. What happened there? What happened? What happened? What happened in that fight? You can see that Tom Aspinall is very much young. He hasn't taken that much damage, Sergey Pavlovich fucking hits him clean. He fucking hits him clean. And when you look at Cyril Gane, the power of Cyril Gane, the power of Cyril Gane, when you see what he did to Tai Tuivasa, that won't phase Tom Aspinall at all. But the ground game, I think, in my opinion, as an expert on analytics of MMA, I'm telling you, Cyril Gane has a 90% win rate when it comes to the ground game. And when I'm talking ground game, I'm talking jiu-jitsu. I'm talking Tom Aspinall actually defending what? Submissions. We've seen we've also seen the fucking disadvantages that Cyril Gane has when it comes to submissions. But it just comes down to that one submission. And he did it again against Volkov, which shows his potential as a future UFC champion. But, the heavyweight division, in my opinion, is dead, and this is it. Remember, subscribe and like this video. And we back. We back again. Just stay tuned. We've got a lot coming. We got the next podcast that is coming up. Just know we all the way up. We are doing this right now. We doing it right now. Now it's time to do. Subscribe, like, subscribe.